My apologies, that was all me.
So that wasn't recorded.
It was not.
Well, then maybe I need to start again. Because the public has a right to know. Parents that aren't here have a right to know. That's why that's on there. So that we can reach the parents. That's the whole point. Read it again. I think so.
I agree.
Yeah, go ahead.
People were watching, I mean.
Go ahead.
Unfortunately, but I guess to hear it twice probably won't hurt any of us.
It was.
And I understand that. I never said it wasn't. I'll just, okay.
I just wanted to make sure people know who you are speaking.
Yeah, should I just start again? Just like.
Yeah, just make sure.
Everything. Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Wendy Koslowski. I'm a Siren resident. I have nieces and nephews here at the school, and I was in the school district for 25 years with 4 of my own children. I'm here tonight, not for this board or for this administration. That ship has sailed. I am here for the children that are in Siren School, their parents, grandparents, and for the taxpayers of this county. Let me remind you that over 60% of our taxpayer dollar goes to this school. It has been approximately 4 months since the sexual assault incidences occurred. Where are we at today? Has the administration, faculty, or school board reached out to the parents and children that were assaulted? Have they sent a simple letter, email, phone call, etc., in regards to the concern, to their concern of the child? Have they acknowledged the obvious facts that we did not do the right law-abiding thing by not mandated reporting the incident immediately to parents and not at all to the police? No, you have not. Have you apologized for these wrongful actions? Have you taken accountability? Have you directly stated to these parents any of these obvious, simple truths? No. Have you taken a verbal stand to ensure to them and others that this protocol you did not follow will never happen this way again? And that you are pursuing real discipline for those who did not follow the law? No, no, and no. Nothing. Absolutely nada, nothing has been conveyed to these parents in any shape, way, or form. I mean, the blatant negligence of this faculty, administration, and board is off the charts. Absolutely no empathy. Oh, but wait, this is an ongoing investigation. Of course it is. So everyone just shut your mouths. Oh, because we've been advised. We've been advised to. Of course you have. At least that's a good excuse to hide behind. You can't talk to these parents. You can't acknowledge the obvious. You can't take any accountability by admitting the blatant wrong actions. Wow, people, you should be ashamed of yourselves again. Wasn't your kid though, was it? That's hard to hear, isn't it? Well, at least it should be. The thing is, you should feel like it was your kid. When you decided to enter this profession, every kid becomes your kid. Not here, not at this school. You've proven that time and time again. There's no accountability here. You pass the buck, you blame shift, deflect, and run from the obvious. You don't protect our children. You don't follow the laws. You don't respect these parents. The day of reckoning is here. We, the people, are over putting up with this. Go ahead. Hide behind your attorneys. Get all the legal counsel you need. All of that does not matter to parents and kids. Do you know what does matter? Human decency, empathy, care, concern, compassion, help, taking responsibility when we've wronged someone, saying we're sorry, committing to do better, committing to be better. You've spoken loud and clear by not doing any of those things. The heart of this is not a legal matter. The heart of this is these affected children and parents, families that are hurt. The assaults were bad enough, weren't they? And yet you've made it far worse by neglecting your responsibility and accountability for what you allowed in the first place. What if it was your kid? You would expect nothing different. And you would be sickened if it was your kid and this was how it was handled. The public now sees it for what it is. The parent feels it for what it is. And the kids, oh, don't worry about them. Wasn't your kid, was it? From here on out, we, the parents, community, and taxpayers are going to protect our children. We will see to it at all costs. Thank you.
Thank you for reading that again, Wendy. I appreciate it. Sorry about the technical difficulty. Who would like to go next?
I can.
Okay.
I'm Polly Yimmy. I am a Siren resident and taxpayer along with my husband. We have grandchildren and I have nieces and nephews, several that come to school here. I came to Siren School from the time I was in kindergarten until I graduated from high school as salutatorian in my class. I came back here on request of the then superintendent to come back and help in my community, and I taught here for 33 years. I'm here tonight as a concerned citizen, and I've written this down so that I could stay brief. But, and I'm gonna lean a little, I do have some health issues that have been going on. So I was recently at an event in the community. It was a family event, and there were a large group of people from various local school districts there. There was a lot of chatter and some passing a phone around. I asked what was going on and was shown several photos of a Siren school administrator. I initially said, no way are those real. Those are like AI generated. Those cannot be real. Later that day, I was sent a video. It was short. It was just seconds. But in it, it did prove to me the legitimacy of the photos. There was a narrator, and it was just apparently prior, based on what the narrator was saying, and saying something regarding, is this the Saturday morning dream come true? I recognized that voice, and that was what gave me no doubt in the legitimacy of what I was seeing. I am seriously about as liberal of a person as you can get. There's no doubt about it. And I could really care less what games people play at home or what happens in the privacy of one's own home in one's spare time. However, when someone in a leadership position makes a decision that those events are acceptable for sharing with a large crowd, I question their motive and their judgment. Photos tell a story, and what story they tell is based on people's perception. I have no idea what the intent of those photos were. Was someone coming out? Were they mocking other people? Were they intended to be funny, or were they a fantasy? I really don't know. What I do know is that this same administrator has preached the consequences of such actions, has had police officers speak to staff and students about digital consequences, has put people on leave for behavior that is less than their own current actions. People, the hypocrisy is deafening. This is from the Siren School District website. A digital footprint, also known as a digital tattoo, refers to a trail of information and data that individuals create and leave behind online as they interact with digital platforms and services. This footprint includes activities such as social media posts, online searches, website visits, and digital communications. It is a permanent and often publicly accessible record that can have implications for one's online reputation, privacy, and security. Managing and being aware of your digital footprint is important, as it can influence how others perceive you and impact your online presence. Also from the school district website. Social media. It's important for young people to use social media mindfully and responsibly, balancing its benefits and potential drawbacks. Parents and educators can play a role in guiding them to make informed choices in their online activities. While social media can offer connectivity, information, education, and networking, it can also be a landmine for potential risks. Social media platforms provide outlets for creative expression through photos, videos, and written content. In addition, it can raise awareness about social issues and provide a platform for activism. However, some of the pitfalls that can be encountered while using social media include privacy concerns, cyberbullying, mental health issues, time wasting, negative self-comparisons, and low self-esteem. It is imperative for children, as well as the adults in their lives that they look up to, strive to minimize the negative effects of social media. Those are the expectations, by the way, for students in this building. I'm struggling with the fact that our administrators are having an issue with some of those very topics. My question to the community and ultimately to this school board is, are our administrators above all reproach? Thank you.
Thank you, Polly. Who would like to go next? Please come on up.
Hi, I'm Kylie Buck. I don't have any children in Siren School District currently, but I went to Siren for 11 years. I graduated as class of 2022 salutatorian. And my mom and dad are a part of the Siren community. So I have prepared a very brief statement of the stepdaughter of Superintendent Dr. Shetler. And as a member of the private Facebook group. Knowing the explicit heinous rumors thrown against my stepdad is so disheartening. I met Kevin when I was 11 years old. I'm sorry if I get emotional. Never once have I felt he was predatory. The support this man has given to me and my family compared to these words being said about him is drastic. My stepdad is supportive of my mom's business, and that is all I have ever seen. To see my father figure being badmouthed for this is so sad, in my opinion. He has been a shoulder for me to cry on, and he's the smartest, kindest man I know. For a small example, helping me write my resume this year. That's who he is. He is gentle, coming from someone who met a father figure at such a young age. Kevin was never scary. He just understood. He was the light we needed. And to hear all of this about him hurts. I can't imagine how it feels for him. I just wanted to emphasize my stepdad's character. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Kylie. Let's go next. Is there any more?
I didn't prepare a speech this time, but I came to reiterate the school lunches have, Krista Matson. I am a taxpayer, I am a parent, I am a huge member of the community in so many ways. And I am definitely a voice for so many parents here. Number one being with that school lunch. You guys have not improved. My daughter was in lunch asking for fruit. She has it absolutely recorded. Couldn't get any fruit. It was empty, couldn't get fruit, couldn't get breadsticks. They won't refill it when you're at the end of the line for the middle school. That's honestly not even the biggest thing though. My son was expelled in December, and the school decided to expel 2 students from that. 2 students who did not bring the vape to school. The student who brought the vape to school was not expelled. The report never made it to social services until I brought it there. Because the vape originated from an adult in the community and nobody could care less. So 2 students, they got out from the school until their 21st birthday. Mind you, he did all of his reinstatement conditions. He has still not come back to this school. And I've sent all the proof. A social worker is actually going to be here tomorrow with me to hopefully take care of this. But that does not negate the fact that my son's not even safe here. He's not safe here. He's an autistic student who was offered drugs at this school. And you guys have done nothing to address that. You did not sit and send the stuff to social services or to the DA's office, nothing. In all of the times that I've communicated with the board and with this administrative, the district administrator and the principals, John, the whole 9 yards, I get either nothing back currently, or for you guys, I literally have gotten nothing from any of you guys. Nobody's addressing anything. Nobody's addressing the fact that you guys illegally obtained all of my documentation. The state literally tells you, you cannot obtain my information any other way than through the actual Safe at Home program. And you guys just didn't care. And you guys didn't care to address it at the last board meeting either. I will be making all of the emails, all of everything public, so that everybody can see just what kind of situation they will have to go through in this situation. I've known a lot of people sitting before us my entire life, for as long as I can remember. And this is an outright shame, because there's people that come into this situation and they don't know you. And for them to be treated like that too, I can't even imagine. You guys need to do better. There's literally, like, these children are in the palm of your hands. You get to choose the direction that they can be helped in different directions. Thank you.
Thank you, Krista. Anyone else want to speak?
I raised my hand, but I'm down further on the.
Oh, okay. All right. Any more for public comment? Sorry. No? Okay. At the conclusion of public comments. There. Anything, any of the board to say in regards to any of the topics brought up?
No, Tom, but I have something I want to bring up. To whom it may concern, I, Stephen J. Young, will be resigning my position as school board member effective Monday, February 24th, 2025, at the conclusion of the board meeting. Steve Young.
It's unfortunate, Steve, but thank you. I wish I had more I could tell people, of course, but as always, like you say, things are looked into in an investigation. Moving along, special appearances. Dave Chell, Whitetails Unlimited. Donation to the trap team.
I'm Dave Chell, president of the Burnett County chapter of Whitetails Unlimited. And I'm here tonight to donate money for this year's upcoming 2025 3 high school trap teams. If
Awesome.
Floyd and Brian would want to come forward, and somebody from Siren. And it's $2,000 a piece again this year for the trap teams.
Wow.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
If I could have you
I'll email you or.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. You should have my number.
I do.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. That is awesome. Congratulations to the team. Okay, student achievement, John Tinman.
Okay, I have three things today. First one, we have a student that made it to the state spelling bee for the through eighth grade. First time in, most of you know, I've been here forever. First time I can remember it ever happening. I'm not sure that it ever has happened. So it's super exciting. Every year we send people down to CISA. 11 for the district one, and this year we have somebody who's going on. And it is Sawyer Olson. She wasn't able to be here because she's at wrestling practice. And we want to make, this is one of the things about Siren that's so awesome. Kids can be involved in so many different things and still be able to keep the activity up, okay? And then I get the pleasure of doing this, which I kind of happy about because I don't usually get this. This is not my thing I get to do. So today I get to announce that our salutatorian, come on up, is Jada Fingerson.
Hey,
And our valedictorian is Samuel Andreas.
Congratulations, Sam and Jaden. Huge accomplishment.
that's awesome. Way to go, ladies.
I will, for sure, yep. Can you take a picture of us all quick?
Oh,
yeah.
my mom
Yeah.
has. Oh, that.
Do you got
Everywhere.
Send
Do
it
you want-
away?
I don't have, I am not a good photo.
Oh, okay. I want to make sure I get a good one.
Okay, right here.
There you go.
Sam's like, where do I look?
All right. Thank you so much.
Well,
We are-
Is that where you're going to school?
Oh, you guys, she asked you a question.
Do have either of you chosen where you're gonna go to school?
UW River Falls.
Awesome, I went there. Good choice. What are you going for?
Egg
Very awesome.
I'll
Cool.
be attending UW Madison for psychology.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Wish you guys the best of luck. We'll see you.
We also have our first female wrestler going to state this year.
Izzy.
I almost said it wrong, I almost said Ellie. Yeah, Izzy, and I'll get this for you later. Izzy, Savage. Again, it's our first female wrestler going to state. Siren's had less than a handful of wrestlers go to state total. And if you take out one family, this may only be one other person, so, it's very exciting. The growth of the wrestling program in both boys and girls has been pretty amazing. And it's a direction that, again, one more thing that our kids get to be in and still be able to be in all the arts and everything else. So were you gonna talk about Big Gig or do you need me to?
Sure.
Okay, so Miss A is gonna talk about the Big Gig stuff
Come on up.
and Miss Peterson.
Thank you, John.
Last month, and then we're said, well, oh, band and choir are separate, so here we are together. So we thought last month we brought kids in. And so this time we'll just give you a little update. We had the big gig yesterday.
Which was
And
awesome.
a very fun show, and we raised just a little over $6,000.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Nice.
So between that and our Chris Cruzy concert and donations that we have received, our goal for our trip was to be able to stop in Nashville and not to have any extra cost for kids. And we have achieved that. So,
Way to go. Nice, great.
yeah, and lots of stuff coming up yet. We've got the large group contest on March 18th. And we have 2 performing groups for each of us, the high school and the middle school for band and choir. We've got solo and ensemble coming up. We have our annual encore program, pops concert.
Elementary spring concert.
Yep,
Has been
which
done.
is so
So lots of things happening yet in the music department. It's a busy time.
Excellent.
Thanks.
For those that didn't make it to the big gig, you missed out.
Yes.
It
Can watch it on YouTube.
was a great show. All right. So now we're moving on to accept donations. I'll make a motion to accept the generous $2,000 donation from Whitetails Unlimited for the trap team.
I'll second that.
Motion by myself, seconded by Jamie. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And now we've got a Lions Club donation, books for kids.
I'll make a motion to accept the Lions Club donation, books for kids.
Second.
Yeah, motion by Jamie, seconded by Eric to accept the donation. All those in favor?
Aye.
Yet again, another great donation. It's awesome and really appreciated. Treasurer's report, January 2025.
I'll make the motion to accept the January treasurer's report.
Motion by Katie, seconded by Eric to accept the report. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Loan redirection of funds.
So due to cash flow, especially during the holidays,
Mhm.
I had to pull out of the loan to cover certain things.
Could you speak up, please?
It has since been moved back in there and not into the loan in with the bank, but in our funds.
Yep. Okay.
So it is there.
So everything's as it should be now?
Yeah.
Can someone say that louder?
The playground loan had some funds that were taken out to use within the general fund, and it is a general fund loan. So that money was just being moved back and forth, although it's earmarked for the playground, it's still in the general fund. We've had some shortfalls and some short-term borrowing as we're waiting for tax dollars to come back in from both the townships and from the state. And so now it sounds like the money that was taken out that would have been earmarked for the playground loan, but still within the general fund has been put back.
Do you know what the balance is of that?
We haven't spent anything out of the playground loan itself. 35, because we paid Rattler. So it would have been, it was 500 total, 600 total, I believe.
I thought you had ordered playground equipment, so
It's been signed, but nothing has gone out for payments yet.
thank you.
All right. Anything else, Laura? Just that. Okay. President's report. Like I said, big gig was awesome. More for kids, much appreciated for all they did with the book fair and everything.
We need to get a motion on that. I'm very sorry.
On,
The bank requested it.
Oh, yeah.
oh, you're right, they did.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
So what's the motion?
Just to redirect the remaining funds. Just that you redirected them and they're back in, just whatever you want to say there.
So I'll make a motion that we accept the fact that the funds were pulled out and redirected back in.
Thank you.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, so like I said, thanks again, more for kids for all they did with the book fair. Big gig was awesome event as always. I hope you had as much fun doing it as we did watching it. Just a reminder, people are starting to get into playoffs for their sports, so get out there and support wrestling and the hockey team, and of course the basketball team start their playoffs as well. And we got spring volleyball, I think starts tonight for some people actually. So get out there, support the Dragons, much appreciated from everyone. Sure.
I just have a quick question. I don't know if any of you know, is there gonna be a send off for Izzy going? If so, when?
Mr. Karsten was looking into that. That was the last I heard this
Okay,
morning.
okay, thank you. I'm planning to go to my niece's, she's going, but just thinking,
Yeah,
what are we doing here?
it hadn't been determined as of 3:30 today, so.
Okay, no problem. I'm sure we'll see it. Thank you. Or
Otherwise-
maybe just like, make sure you share an email.
Said that.
Yeah, sure. Thank
Her
you.
first match is at about 2 o'clock on Thursday. just
Yeah.
To kind of get people.
Right, so they're probably all going down. Do they have to do weigh-in Wednesday?
Thursday, it's
Yeah, I
Thursday
think,
at noon, I leaving way in. I'm
Okay.
leaving Wednesday after school.
Right.
okay. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Alright. Moving on, reports, superintendent.
I shared this letter with you before from the Department of Public Instruction in regard to federal funds. When all that came out, in terms of the administration saying that they were holding on federal funds. The response from the Department of Public Instruction is we're gonna continue to move forth. All the funds that were approved and allocated are continuing to move forth. So those have not been diminished in any capacity. That's just, I've shared that with the budget and finance as well. The Title IX update, also with the new administration. As you know, in August, we had to approve the new 2024 Title IX regs. Those no longer exist as if they never did. So what we did was we went back and we have our 2020 policies. We've shared them with the Wisconsin Association of School Boards for review. They have reviewed those. They are back in our possession. We need to take those to the policy committee. There are a couple of changes I believe the board would want to make in that regard, once we get legal approval on that. So basically, the 2020 regs are right back in as if they never left.
Awesome, yeah, I know we're looking to get that back, so then we can start, to make it better. Which look forward to.
And so the summer schools piece is gonna be a segue with Ms. Herman here. So we had talked with budget and finance, and we had talked with buildings and grounds, due to the fact that we have significant projects happening this summer, being the playground, the front entrance, the roof, and the boilers. Summer school will be canceled or postponed this year, set to resume next year as planned. I think one of the concerns, especially from buildings and grounds, was the entrances and the access of where the boilers might be coming in, and the fact of the playground area and the trucks and that here during the project. So I don't know if you want to echo anything on that.
No,
concern.
just our goal is to, of course, resume in 2026.
Are we saving money or losing money?
We're saving a little bit of money. We do get aid we usually get like 4 students for that. The amount that we're saving is what we would pay for staff. It's about a wash. It's pretty close. I think we might make about $5,000 on that. Save $5,000.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but I mean, we also don't need anything more to happen. Get our projects done and resume next year.
Yeah, the roofers are gonna be over here and they're working on the front entrance and the boilers are over by there, and again, it's gonna. All right, thank you, Kevin. Reports from principals, Mrs. Herman.
I just wanted to recap our family math night. We had 108 people come to family math night, one of our biggest attended math events. Teachers and classroom teachers, Title I teachers, we were all in attendance. Our face class made us fancy brownies for our dessert that night. So Heather O'Brien had kids making desserts for it. The St. Croix Casino donated cards and dice, so every family was able to take home a pack of cards or more and dice, so they can play games at home. Teachers had make and take activities, there were math games, there were parent resources for helping with math at home, estimation jars, tons of stuff going on. It was such a fun night, and we were just so pleased with the attendance and all the laughter that came out of families that night. So thank you to everyone who helped and who came, and we enjoyed it.
I have to say, I've been to math nights in the past, and this was by far a better setup and just how things ran, and I think just doing it all in the commons where they could all float, you know, around, and then you didn't have to worry about families being split up and stuff like that. It was a way better way of doing it, and I think a lot of the kids had fun because of it.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. AGR report, our achievement gap reduction report, I do twice a year, mid-year, and then again at the end of the school year. Just some things to note, kindergarten students are almost at 100% of knowing their letters and sounds, which we haven't had in a very long time. So I'm very excited to see how many readers we have in May who are leaving kindergarten. So that's pretty exciting. First grade makes the biggest jump in reading from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. So while it doesn't look like it, they are on track right now to make some great progress by the end. Math at each grade level is showing growth. I believe it's due to the fact that we're in year 3 of our curriculum. So teachers are getting further in their reading and in their math curriculums than they have in the past. They're getting to know what standards they need to pull and what pieces they can skip in those curriculums. So it's gone very well. Any questions?
Love to see progress. Any questions from anyone else?
So then, some of these areas that are low, they're continuing to work through this, and then another report then in spring.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you, Steve. All right. Nobody else? Moving on to Miss Campbell.
All right, so you all have the document which has a list of some, but not all, roles and responsibilities. Some that obviously are a lot more fun, determining balance cell, graduation, things like that. And then some that are definitely not so fun, discipline, dealing with investigations, things like that. Some of those things which take up a lot of time on a daily basis. We never know what to expect when we come in, and it changes pretty regularly. Some of my favorite aspects are things like curriculum development and mapping, and then the development, implementation, and attending professional learning communities, so the PLCs. So professional learning communities have been around for a very long time. They're one of the most research-based best practice in improving the collective efficacy of teaching staff. In a school this size, it's a lot of struggles because we have all singletons. So in other words, we have only one high school math teacher, one, middle school math teacher. We have only one band teacher. We have only, one gym teacher. Typically in a professional learning community model, school model or model school, when you have 5 people teaching the same subject, everyone has regular data meetings on a weekly basis. And we look at, okay, how are the kids doing in your class versus my class? But there's been a lot of research and work gone into how to make this work in a small school. So in the initial implementation stage, we've just been working with core subjects. So math and science, social studies, ELA or English language arts. But we're starting from the ground up and building those norms and routines, looking at having guaranteed and viable curriculum, looking at research-based best practices. And then the hope is to expand from there. School schedule for middle and high school, as you all get to approve eventually, and that it is quite complex. So that's kind of like a puzzle that we have to put together every year and look at numbers and look at schedules and look at student requests and things like that. So any questions?
Jamie, I guess I do have a question. I obtained a survey that you sent out, safe, supportive, and collaborative culture. Is this something that will be shared with the board? So they can see the results and what, I guess, teachers are saying about how they feel on Yes. And I'll give this to Tom.
That would be great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. So I know you, like most of the administration, where I can't count how many hats, honestly. But when you look at the division of your time, what are, I mean, we would love to all think that, you know, there's an even amount of time spread across all this, but of course, some things are more intensive than others. When it comes to the interaction with the faculty or within the classrooms on a regular basis, how much do you think you're denoting to that?
Well, it kind of comes and goes, and it's often on an as-needed basis, and it depends on what other major pressing issues. So basically, every day we have to kind of prioritize based on importance and need and emergency situations, which we tend to have a lot of. If we have teachers that are looking for assistance or help or asking for assistance or help, those are the faculty or teachers that I obviously am going to put the most time and effort into. And then basically it's whatever we can manage to get done on a daily basis or a weekly basis.
Okay. What do you think of as far as your staff reports? How do you think they would?
The staff report.
Yeah, how they would view you?
I mean, they haven't complained in my face, so. I have been sending out a lot of these surveys, and I actually intend to send out a lot more to get more staff input on things. I ask for staff input a lot, and then I don't always get staff input, and then a lot of times I'll get input, but it's not really specific. It's just kind of vague or general or that kind of thing. You know, the staff, very much like the public, have often said, you know, they would like more information on things, but unfortunately, legally, we cannot divulge a lot of the things that happen in our office on a daily basis, or we could be sued or held liable or have a FERPA complaint against us. So no matter how much it might help our staff, or our staff would feel like they were able to know things that are happening, we simply cannot do so. So that's always something, you know, they would like more communication on things, but unfortunately, we're just legally bound not to in most cases. I think being at the PLC meetings every week is a time where I do get to spend with the core teachers as of right now, on a weekly basis. So it's 4 days a week, half an hour a day. And I attend, I would say 85% of the PLC meetings with the core teachers. And then working with like special ed department and special ed teachers and things like that. You know, I am working a lot with staff. If there are parents that have concerns, and I address them with the staff and work through that with them, work through it with parents. So I'm kind of a liaison between parents, staff, and students, I guess is how I would see my biggest role, and trying to best navigate everyone's best interest in all situations, which can be quite tricky.
Okay, yeah, any of these, any more you come up with, we'd love to see the results. So
And they're always anonymous, so.
right, but it can help us to come up with things that might be more helpful, either to yourself or to the staff. All right. Anything else, Ms. Campbell? Any other questions for Jamie? Okay. Report, special education.
Short and sweet. The last few weeks I've been wearing my test accommodations coordinator hat with pre-ACT and forward coming up. The accommodations have been entered for all of those. We have 12 students in the high school that will be taking pre-ACT and 44 in the elementary that will be taking the state forward test this year, grades 3 through 5. That accommodations have all been entered for. and that is both special ed and those on 504 plans.
And state assessment,
Those are the.
Oh, sorry.
The pre-ACT
My
and
bad.
the forward.
gotcha. Any questions?
I have a question for Denise, but it doesn't have to do with the state assessment.
Okay.
So it's been brought to my attention about a kid in the elementary that's had a lot of issues lately. Behavioral, that we're doing a lot of resources into this kid. And turns out he hurt another kid. I'm just curious, when do we suspend the child, or what do we wait for? How much do we put up with before?
Special education. So laws for disciplining special education students are different than regular education students. Right now, I am in conversation with DPI trying to figure out exactly where our boundaries are with some of these things. Partly because it is a manifestation, I believe, of his disability. And so we have to make sure that we are dotting our i's and crossing our t's before we can make any.
At the expense of the other kids.
We are doing our best to keep everybody safe.
Could also be something that we could potentially bring up with policy as well. Something along those lines to address. All right. Anyone else for Denise? Okay. Moving on, Indian education report.
Also quite short and sweet. Well, halfway through the process of the Title VI grant, that's our federal grant. They open it up in 3 different pieces. So the first piece is just saying, yes, I'm gonna apply again. Second piece is our student count. So I just submitted that 121 Native students, pre-K through 12 this year. Which is slightly down from last year, 129, but last year I had like the biggest graduating class that I've ever had. So that's to be expected, and it's still right about where we usually are. So the next step is getting the parent committee together and kind of outlining our new plan, because we've been doing multi-year application for the last 5 years, I believe. So now it will be a new multi-year application. And then it is so beautiful out. We are all thinking about Sugar Bush. It's a little bit early yet, but we are ready to go. We've got some of the tribal cultural coordinators planning to come in and talk to the 3rd graders about kind of the historical Ojibwe uses of maple and the importance of that to the culture. So we're excited to get that rolling.
Tara, when's your Title VI grant due?
I don't have the date for the, like, they, as I said, they come in phases, so they'll send me an email and saying they open it.
Okay.
And then they close it. And it's usually really close to the end of the school year, if not after, that they close.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tara. Right now, I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes for regular school board meeting for January 27th, 2025.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Motion by Katie, seconded by Steve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Looking for a motion to approve the minutes for the special school board meeting from February 10th, 2025.
I'll make that motion to approve the minutes for February 10th, 2025.
Motion by Steve,
Second it.
seconded by Katie. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, on to new business. DOT detour during highway construction.
Eric, do you want to speak to that, or me too?
The state just came and said they're gonna run the detour through the school. I mean, not much else to say.
Yeah, we're trying to just plan ahead. We'll be in contact with
It'll be
the
the
boss.
The state will be done before school starts.
When
I'm
is
sure
it
that
next?
happened. 2027?
Possibly.
Unless they get funding, could be next year.
We don't know.
So instead of it'll be-
Being on a village board, we don't know any more than that. We tried to push back and have it go down Old 35, but because of the condition of Old 35 and the damage they thought they caused to it, they didn't want to replace Old 35, so coming down 4th Street.
It's not trucks and it's only northbound, so it's half the
Right.
traffic.
But
Southbound will remain on 35, one side or the other, because they'll do one side and then the other, and the
Okay.
trucks are being routed a different
I
route.
have to ask a question.
Yeah.
I know it says it's gonna be in the summer, but we're just talking about, we don't even know what year it's gonna be, so it's gonna be hard to tell us when it's gonna be.
that is correct.
Do they have anything in it saying that we can't still block our road during those times?
Well, we
That's
talked
my
about
biggest question.
summer school as the biggest issue, and the drop off could be at the elementary doors. Because we talked about that even for this year. It's only one bus for summer school that can make the turn. So that would be the first go-to, but then if it turns out it's gonna be during a school year time, then yeah, we'll have to talk to them about what we would do. It's not, I mean,
Except we can't block the road.
it
That's
would
all.
be very easy to detour them one block over for the
Absolutely.
20 minutes in the morning and the afternoon or whatever it
And
is.
so when do they usually, when would this project potentially start? May?
It started,
Construction season.
Supposed to be over the summer.
yeah,
But
they claim it will start at the end of the school year and be done by the beginning of the school year.
And it goes all the way through town.
but just not knowing when our school year is that year, it's really hard to, I mean, we could.
I'm sure someone in
have
Madison
poten-
knows
you know,
that
we
there's a
don't
school
ever know.
right
We
there.
I
don't-
think it could be as soon as 26, right?
They probably can't even find siren on a map.
Yeah,
So I think we just have to keep it on our radar
Yeah.
because
Right.
just because it says 27 doesn't mean
Yeah.
that's when it's gonna happen.
Yeah, at least you have that middle row, which most people are probably gonna turn on anyways, like why go another block when you're going that way, just turn, I don't know what that road is.
I mean, it's too bad they're not gonna do it this year.
But it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not gonna have summer school anyways.
Yeah.
Well, it's supposed to be done 2024.
Yeah,
All right, well, thanks for the update, guys.
well, we'll deal with the fun when it comes, right? All right, moving on to Sports U app. So, one of the issues that came up a while back was, what app was allowable for the sports teams to be communicating through. And we wanted them to basically settle on one app that was approved, that there wouldn't be like private messaging and stuff like that available through. And we kind of never heard back anymore about it. So Carson came to the policy meeting and shared that he's approved the Sports U app as the app of choice for the sports programs for communication. And it's a free app, unlike some of the other apps that are available. And just wanted it to come to the board
For both students or parents and students,
Yeah.
can both
Yes.
have accounts on it?
yes.
Okay.
So we just wanted to bring it forward to the full board to acknowledge it as an approved app. Because we want to keep a tab, of course, on which apps are being used.
We're just really making sure we're getting away from any coaches directly text messaging a student and or using Snapchat. We want to make sure that those means of communication aren't happening with an adult that's not a relative. I mean, it just seems inappropriate that a coach would be Snapchatting players. So we wanted to make sure it was more professional and we had, some kind of app for communication. And so far, it seems like it's been doing fine. Bryn seems confused. So go ahead.
Well, I just want to ask a question. Those of us in non-sports areas that have used Remind, are we using that same app? And if so.
That was
people need
just,
to be
right, that was just
we need to
brought
be
up
aware.
too. I was asking
Right.
if we had other communication. And like, we're not against Remind. It was just,
So, yeah,
it was just a,
We need a directive.
Yes.
right.
If we should be using something on our trip other than Remind.
Use Sport U for spring or for middle school volleyball.
No.
I don't know if we had it yet. You still use Remind. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was like after you guys had started that, he started using the Sport
Right.
U.
But we
Yes.
need a directive because
Right.
we do use an app. We
Right.
use things when we travel. Mm-hmm. So if there is something that we should be using,
Mhm.
and I'm sure there's other people in our same boat that are not sports. people,
Right, and I
Yeah,
did bring that
and
up.
that
I
did
don't
come
remember,
up
but-
as well.
We need to be given a directive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, I'll put forth the motion that Remind and the Sports U app, along with email, are the only allowable forms of communication between coaches and heads of extracurricular activities.
Because wasn't the
and whatnot.
policy wording just to say approved apps or approved methods so that we wouldn't have to change it regularly? Well, yeah, no, that this one is approved, but then the wording of the policy is just whatever is of the approved list.
Right.
Cause I don't know the applications between this. Jamie, you don't think this would work as well for band as?
I don't know exactly.
So like the part of the reason Carson liked the sports U is because coaches can go in and put all the practice. They can go in and put all the like game locations.
So
the
there's a
games in.
scheduling
So like
feature?
the scheduling would
Yeah.
all be in there, which maybe you can do some of it with Remind. I'm not really sure.
Is it
I mean-
Mind one we pay for as well? No, that one's
I
not.
don't think
It
so.
was
I mean,
the-
Is Remind one of your approved ones?
Yeah, Tom just said, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine with
Okay.
using that. I mean, maybe going forward.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this,
no.
this came up,
No.
mine came up a while back when there was discussion over multiple apps being used just for teacher communication in general, and Remind is the only one that basically was approved aside from, I think, one that the pre-K uses. So.
Now we know.
so,
I mean, if potentially there's something else at another
yeah, we're
later
more than
date that
willing to hear
staff
about
wants
it.
to come and
but-
discuss it. It's just more or less, we just don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable. I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody, but like, I don't want staff Snapchatting and messaging
And
directly.
does this save all the messaging back and forth that goes back and forth? Like if something were to come up, is that a
Sorry?
pull from the app that allows you to pull
Yeah.
back? Okay.
And so, it's like a quick way too, instead of having like a text thread, like if you just want to communicate with the coach, you can send a separate message instead of it being like the whole, to all the parents, you
Mhm.
can just directly message.
Yeah. As long as those are able to be.
Yeah,
I've been
Hold out.
using it for multiple students this year and I haven't had any concerns with them. So.
so. I put forth the motion, did
Oh,
anyone
I'll
second it?
second it.
Okay, just, I didn't think I heard anyone, just want
I
to make
yeah, I
sure.
don't think. we-
All those in favor?
Aye.
I
Aye.
wasn't sure if I missed it, so.
Opposed? Okay. All right, policy 705.3 language updates. So this was the sports one that kind of ping pong back and forth between policy and the full board. And when it went back to policy, we fixed the wording on it to not only include middle school cross country and high school cross country, but to designate, they would each have a head coach. And if middle school did not have enough children to meet the criteria, that coach would default to assisting the high school coach. So that way we can ensure the two coaches would be present. And then this isn't part of it, but we also are strongly encouraging the middle and high school to continue to do meets together so as not to cause an issue where one coach will be left out on their own, so to speak.
Lisa, will you make sure to, well, you probably will, just make sure that date on the bottom of that gets updated because it's obviously.
Until after you approve this.
So I make a
will.
motion to approve the updates on the policy 705.3.
We got a motion by Jamie, seconded by Eric. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Now you can consider
Yeah.
that done.
I just wanted to make sure, I mean, I
Yep.
figured you
Not a
had it,
problem.
but just
Okay.
so it's clear going into next year.
Now to the fun part, meeting
Just
calendars.
wait for me.
So March,
I'm sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once here.
budget, finance, personnel meeting. Let's see
It's
here.
currently on the 13th or on this calendar. I don't know if you guys want to see.
Oh, they have it on here twice.
Oh, gosh, that was,
One of them is budget.
Yeah, B should be buildings and grounds.
Thursday, that should be buildings.
B is buildings and grounds.
Did that work? What was ever on?
Okay, first, budget, finance, personnel
Mhm.
for March 17th. Does that work for you, Katie?
It does. It's normally 4:15 for Polly and that says 4
Okay,
and she's not.
well, let's make.
Peggy, sorry.
Peggy, let's make it
Polly's back
for.
there.
She said Paul.
You and your
The right
peas.
sister.
she's out of town. We can talk about her.
Let's make it for 4:15 then, just err on the side of caution.
Yes.
Does that work for you?
Yep.
That's for budget and finance.
4 for claims, 17.
Mhm.
Okay, now on to buildings and grounds.
Oh, I've got that in twice.
That's fine with me.
Yep, that's fine.
The 13th.
Mhm.
Round at, that one's at 4. You guys are good with doing that at 4?
Well, it's on there at 3:30,
Yeah, it's.
but I can do
Oh.
4.
This, I don't know what they're looking at.
It's,
B, letter B.
yeah,
No, they both say budget, because it looks like I did the
Right.
same.
We're looking at the calendar.
I never opened the attachment part. Yeah, it
Anyways.
does say 4, but
Apparently I was into budget that day.
Eric, do you want 4 or 3:30?
Okay. Whatever.
So 3:30 on the 13th,
Yeah.
is that what we're looking at?
Does that
Yeah,
work?
3:30 is fine. Get it done for you guys right after school. So 3:30 on the 15th.
On March 3rd.
Apologies for those typos, folks.
And then. What works for you?
policy planning,
Are we leaving our regular? We must be leaving regular.
No, we're gonna try, we're gonna ask once we get there to move it to the 31st.
Okay, sorry, let's do policy. I was just looking
Okay.
at, we have break that week. Okay. So
Alright.
policy, what do you want to do, Tom? On Wednesdays work better for me. Obviously, Kelly's not here.
yeah,
Or Monday. I mean, I guess March isn't as busy, so a Monday or Wednesday.
yeah, Wednesdays all of a sudden it's an issue for me.
Okay, do you want to do the 10th or is that too soon?
We could do the 10th.
Or do you want to do after budget? I don't know what staff,
I could do after budget if staff's fine with it.
how does that work?
That'd
for-
be good. Yeah.
Would that work better?
Schedule for 5:15.
17. Oh, that,
Or is
you're,
that
you're in
too-
budget, so yeah, you got to get rid of that.
Is that okay? So
Yeah.
we're gonna do policy at budget as like 5:30 policy then? How long do you guys need for
We'll
budget?
do it for 5:15 and if we have to stretch. Yeah,
Okay. So what did we say, policy
yeah,
at 5:15? Okay. I don't have anything. What is birthday?
one of my kids is volleyball practice, but I love my wife. All right. And now we gotta do the regular school board meeting.
Open for the 31st, if that's possible. The spring break week is on the 24th.
I'm fine with
I'm
the
fine with
31st.
I will be out of town. I'll be just getting back. No, I'll still be gone. I don't think I'll get back up here till like 10 PM.
Would you rather have it on the 24th, or are you on the 24th too?
I'm still in town then, but we can't have it during spring break. The building isn't open, right?
Can we make it this, I mean, I don't know, Steve, can you, do you want? Wait, I know, that's what I don't know.
Well, you'll
Have
still
him-
potentially have a quorum. I mean, two
Just-
out of one out of
I
7.
won't be available. I'll be out of country.
Okay. For the 31st, you mean? Or the
Yeah.
24th, or both?
Yeah,
Okay.
leaving Friday.
Well, let's hope
Be back April
Peggy
1st.
and Kelly,
Which one are we shooting for?
We're gonna still try
the 31st, I think, I just,
Okay.
you know. Peggy won't be there, so hopefully Peggy or Kelly
5?
at 5, yeah.
5 on the 31st. Okay, I guess we're gonna shoot for 5 on 31st. See if there's any requests otherwise.
Can I just comment that, just a reminder that elections is April 1st?
All right, I was thinking that too.
Sorry,
No, but it's,
it's a fool's joke,
it is what it is, unfortunately.
I mean, would it be better to try to have it
Which one's in effect any of my.
I think we're just,
No, that'll all be done.
yeah, I think we don't need to.
Okay, that's fine. Where are we at?
All right, looking for motion to approve the bills for the cycle of 25 to 2/24/25.
I will make the motion to approve the bills.
Motion from Katie, I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Think all the items reports, the entry were taken care of. Now I'm looking for a motion to convene the closed session under Wisconsin State Statute 19.851 CEFG to consider employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercise responsibility. Considerations of financial, medical, social, or personal information, and to confer with legal counsel who is rendering oral or written advice.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Katie, seconded by Eric. Steve, take the roll, please.
Eric,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Katie.
Yes.